Hey y'all, it's Katie. I have not posted in like 3 months because I'm trash. But hopefully now that I've settled into sophomore year and I'm back in school and on a routine, I can kind of get back to posting on a regular basis. This month I only read 4 books, which is probably an all-time low for me. But also, college is hard, lots of stuff is going on, and I don't really have that much time, so the fact that I did get through these 4 books is kind of impressive for me personally. The first book that I read this month was Gemina by Jay Kristoff and Anna Kaufman. This is the sequel to Illuminae, which I read at the end of August and completely loved, and this book did not disappoint. The really interesting thing about the books in the Illuminae Files series is that they're not written, they're all made of different things that would be in files, so there are like maps and transcripts and all sorts of sketches and random things. I honestly didn't think I would like that format when I got into these, and I'm also not super huge on sci-fi all the time, but both of these were definitely some of the best books I've ever read, and I'm so excited for the third one to come out next year. I did end up giving this book a 10 out of 10. I thought that the writing was superb. The fact that it was made out of just files and I still was that entranced by it was really impressive to me. All of the characters were so well developed, so multi-dimensional, and there were all kinds of crazy twists and turns, so I really love this book. I have all the praise in the world for it. The next 2 books that I read this month were the first and second books in the Angel Fall trilogy by Susan E. Now, I have previously read Angel Fall when I was like a freshman or sophomore in high school, and I really enjoyed it at the time, so now that I finally got all 3, I was excited to actually like go through and reread the series because I didn't really remember much beyond that the main character's name was Penryn and that there was an angel. But to be honest, I was actually really disappointed. I thought that Susan E. had a lot of really great ideas and the plot was really interesting, but I just did not love her writing, and I didn't love the characters as much as I thought that I would or as much as I remembered. And as I got further into the second book, and now that I've started the third, I'm just really not enjoying them a whole lot. The writing is just kind of slow for me, and it feels more like something I would have enjoyed when I was a lot younger. Definitely a more middle grade vibe. And I think that there are a couple of problematic tropes that they're not super bad, but coupled with writing that I am not very invested in, it doesn't make me want to continue reading, and I had to push myself through both of these, and I will be pushing myself through the last one because I'm incapable of DNFing books. And the final book that I read in the month of September was, of course, Tower of Dawn by Sarah J. Maas. Tower of Dawn is the 6th book in the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas, so if you haven't read them, check them out. Really great. Literally my favorite series of all time. Now, I've never really disliked my guy Cale. I was really frustrated with him in Crown of Midnight and all, but in general, I like Cale. I think he's a good dude. Like, I enjoy reading about him. But I will admit that when this book was rumored to be coming out, I was just not super hype. I was like, okay, I like Cale, but I don't want a whole book about Cale. Like, he's not that interesting by himself. And Nesryn is just like, what? Like, I have no attachment to her. I am obsessed with Nesryn. I love this book. I love Cale. I loved all of the character development that went on during this story, especially on Cale and Irene's parts. I thought that they just grew so much as characters, and it was so amazing to see, and I thought it was definitely something that a lot of readers can resonate with. This book kind of just reminded me how much I love authors like Sarah and Rick Riordan, who when you tell them like, hey, you don't have diversity in your books, they're like, oh, shit, you're right. And they start including more and more diversity, and as they go, they don't forget that. They don't say, okay, well, one book had diversity and that's it. Like, they keep working on it. I also really enjoyed the ending, which I won't spoil, but I will say that I was really disliking where I thought that this book was going to go and where it looked like it was going to go, because I thought that I had issues with where it was going to end up, but Sarah actually resolved those issues, and I thought that the ending was perfect. And of course, the romance was wonderful, and I'm so excited to see more of it all in the next book. Honestly, I love this book so much. I was so worried that it was going to automatically be my least favorite book in the series because Aelin wasn't going to be in it, but it was really good, and I'm so content with it, and I definitely think I liked it almost as much as Empire of Storms, which is saying a lot. So that is it for my September wrap-up. I'm so sorry that this took 3 months for the 25 of you that actually follow me. This will be the start of me getting back to updating normally, I promise. Have a good one, y'all.